Admiral Mike Mullen acknowledges receiving a memo which he did not see first and did not consider credible. Here is the simple answer. If I had given a memo to Admiral Mullen, who has been a guest at my home and whose home I have been a guest at, it would have been more credible. Here is a man whom Admiral Mullen says he did not know. Yes, he's an influential man because he's a rich man, so he probably knew somebody who was able to deliver his memo to Admiral Mullen. But to embroil me and to connect me, I would be very happy if Mr. Ijaz said he wrote a memo and he delivered a memo which he thought was in the interest of Pakistan and the United States. That would be the honorable thing for him to do. To say that he did it on my behest and thereby creating a civil-military divide in Pakistan is at best unthought out, and at worst meant to create a crisis in Pakistan. Well, when I am the link between the civilian government and the United States, why should I try to find a man who is so unreliable that on a whim he ends up exposing what he says was a conspiracy? Now, good conspirators don't reveal their role. If he really was playing a secret emissary, what kind of a secret emissary is this that he writes an op-ed article explaining his role? And ironically, that article received no attention in the international media because it was published in the Financial Times. Yes, a rich man has influence and connections to get an article published. I did not write this memo. I did not deliver this memo. I did not ask anybody to write this memo. I did not ask anybody to deliver this memo. And this controversy is not about BBM messages, etc., and text messages and all those complications. And one particular editor is running all of that without taking into consideration the deeper question. With all due respect, considering that for 4 weeks, Pakistan's media has been going on and on about Mansoor Ijaz and his memo, it should be the duty of all Pakistani journalists to just Google the name and find out everything that has been published by him about him. That should be the basis, not what I say. Now, do I know him? Of course I know him. Have I interacted with him? Definitely I've interacted with him. He's a man of tremendous resources. He was politically connected. He plays a role sometimes, attempts to play a role. He writes articles in various newspapers and to me is a respectable man. I had no reason to believe otherwise. I always thought he believed in certain things. I did not agree with him. This incident has made me wonder what his motivations might be. I am scheduled to start my journey tonight. As you know, there are no direct flights from Pakistan to the United States. I want this matter to be investigated in the broadest sense. The real issue is not communication, this, that. The real issue is what are the motives of different people. Mr. Mansoor Ijaz, the Mansoor Ijaz that I knew, I thought was somebody who cared about the United States. He always says, I'm an American citizen, I care about America. The actions he has taken have hurt the one person who is recognized in Pakistan as America's publicly recognized friend. So why has he done it? This is a question you should pose to him. He has to answer that, not me. Well, the point is that obviously whoever has orchestrated this whole crisis does not care about U.S.-Pakistan relations. They do not care who serves as ambassador in Washington, D.C. But I care deeply about protecting President Asif Zardari and the democratically elected government in Pakistan. And so, if my resignation will help Prime Minister Gilani and President Zardari diffuse the crisis and move on, and Pakistan can then move on, then the inquiry can go on forever. We still have the Abbottabad Commission inquiry. The Abbottabad incident happened on May 1, May 2, and today is 18th of November, and still that commission has yet to come up with its findings. So a commission can go on forever, and it can take a long time. I do not want this so-called Memogate to be kept alive, given that there are 3 or 4 media personalities who want to keep it alive, and their purpose is only to create fear, to scare ordinary soldiers in the Pakistani military, ordinary people in Pakistani homes, to be totally scared about some invisible American-Pakistani conspiracy, to see Hussain Haqqani as this conspiratorial man working with some guy who lives in Europe now and is an American citizen but is from a Pakistani family. So this whole crisis will just strain the system. And no one has asked me to leave the position. No one has said that I have not done a good job as ambassador. All they have asked is that I come to Pakistan and help an inquiry and give an explanation, and I'm happy to do that. But at the same time, let me just say one thing. There are people who are sending me threatening emails. There are people who are leaving threatening phone messages at the embassy and at me because of the false media campaign that has been created that paints me as an enemy agent, as an American lackey, that is threatening my life. We all know what happened to Mr. Salman Taseer when some people in the media painted him as a blasphemer. So therefore, those security concerns have been created by some people. But I'm a proud Pakistani. I'm someone who loves and cares about Pakistan. My opinions and my views might be very different from a lot of people in Pakistan, but my patriotism is exactly the same. I am not some person. I will serve as long as President Zardari and Prime Minister Gilani want me to serve. I will answer all questions, and at the same time, I will do my duty till the moment I am told not to do it.